Hello, Kitacha here again, TAP beneficiary from Lagos State with TAP ID 2.2.225.111 to LA 0.20.83212. And this is a video assessment on the last completed course in the LCB program, Leadership and Sources of Power, LCB Element 5. And before now, I didn't think that the sources of power we covered were actually sources of power. Initially, when I started the module, and the power was talking about, people wielding authority from a higher place of position, by exerting force on their subordinates. I think I can say that I do fall in the category of people who think the sources of power were only limited to that. I didn't think charisma was a source of power or expertise was a source of power. So yes, this is an enlightening course for me. So I'm going to be answering some questions in the form of an assignment. So here's the first one. So what are the various sources of power that you're good at leveraging now, and what do you need to work on? So as a pharmacist, I have leveraged some sources of power as discussed in the course. And the first one will be the power of charisma. I didn't think that was a source of power, like I was saying before. And because of my profession, I'm a pharmacist in a community. It means that I need to always have a positive charisma. I need to always have a good personality. And if I don't even say so myself, I like to think that I have a great and charming personality, and that sort of draws people to me, draws people to my work, draws people to my pharmacy. And I really need that, not just because we're new, but because we need goodwill to keep the business going. We need goodwill to sustain the business. If I keep pushing away people with my bad impression on the first visit, then I'm not going to have any customers to attend to. I'm not going to have patients to attend to. I'm not going to be meeting needs. I'm not going to be serving humanity. And I'm going to be bringing the business down. So yes, I've had to leverage the power of charisma by putting my best foot forward with a smile, welcoming, being attentive. So that leads me to the second power that I've been able to leverage, because this is like, the way it was arranged in the module is like, one is a prerequisite to the other, but at least for me, in my profession, I sort of like that arrangement because the other one gives prerequisite to the next one, and I cannot attain the next one without the first. So having ascertained that, okay, I have leveraged the power of charisma, then I'm able to leverage the next source of power, which is the power of relationship. So if I have a good charisma, if I have a positive personality, if I have a charming and great personality, that sort of draws people to me, and I'm able to keep a sustained relationship with them, not just for the now, but for the longer haul. And in this profession, I'm going to keep meeting people whether or not I like it. I might have one-time customers or one-time patient, but I also would have patients that I will see more often than the others. And for me to have that going for me, it means that I need to have a level of relationship with them, and I cannot sustain that without having a great personality. So yes, I've been able to master the power of relationship because I've had a great I have a good personality, and I'm working to keep that personality great and going. And beyond or outside work, I do have a great personality, and that has also helped me build relationship with people that maybe people my age might not be able to wrap their head around. For instance, I have a good relationship with people that are way older than me. It is something that I enjoy because I feel like I can learn from their wealth of wisdom, of exposure, of experience that I might not be able to get from my peers or from my colleague or from somebody in my own age bracket. And I will not be able to sustain that, considering that older people, at least in this side of the world, do not necessarily like to relate to people who are younger than them because they think they would be disrespected. And I have to bridge that gap with my personality while still keeping respect in place. So yes, I've been able to leverage that, which also leads me to the next one, and that would be power of information. So I'm able to garner information from people because I've made a good impression on them with my great personality. I've struck a conversation with them and sustained the relationship ongoing, and then they trust me enough to tell me things, and they're able to give me information that is able to help me meet their needs health-wise. I'm able to treat them better. They're able to give me information that I can even use outside of the profession. They can give me information that is related to business, not necessarily health. For instance, somebody can give me information about a better space that we can occupy as a pharmacy. I was saying the other day that we wanted to expand. We're looking to expand. And if I have access to information about a new place that has better space, a car park, a good location, that information can change the face of this business on a greater scale. And that is the kind of information that I'm looking for at the moment. I cannot get that if I'm all uptight, right? And that takes me back to the beginning where I said it's all connected for me. So I have a great personality, I'm able to strike a conversation, I'm able to maintain relationship with people, and that gives me access to information. I will not be able to leverage my source of power in information if I'm not being able to leverage my source of power in charisma and relationship. And so it means that my relationship with people would afford me access to certain information that other people are not privy to, right? Both professionally and unprofessionally. Because outside of my job, I do have a relationship. I have relationships outside of my job that are not necessarily official. And I could make do of information that could make my life better, that could move me forward. And even within the profession, I could have access to relationship that can take my business forward. And also, tailoring it down to my profession, I'm able to serve a customer better. I'm able to meet their pharmaceutical needs better if I have access to information as to exactly what is going on with them. Say, for instance, fertility is a sensitive issue professional wise. And for anybody to be able to get the best of opinion or options best suited for them, they need to open up completely. And that is a big issue for some people. And for them to be able to do that, it means that they need to trust their practitioner, they need to trust that this person can relate to what is going on. And so, yes, with charisma and relationship, then information comes in handy. There's a saying that I saw today that says, "You are where you are because of what you do not know," or I can say, "You are where you are because of what you know." So, what makes the other person better than the next person is just a function of the information that they're exposed to. And I know that relationships give you access to information, and so we need relationships. And so that also spirals into the last source of power that I'm leveraging on currently, and that is the power of expertise. And so it for me it's all connected really. So after making a pleasant impression on somebody, and then we get to strike a conversation, and then we keep the relationship going, and then I have access to information, and that sort of give my expertise in my profession. For instance, my wealth of expertise increases by the number of patients that I'm able to attend to over time. So if I've attended to 10 asthmatic patients, for instance, or if I've attended to 20 also patients, now that makes me better in that field because I've had time to test and try different methods of treatment that could work, and I'll be able to sift out which is better for somebody over time. And then by the time I'm treating the 30th patient, I can, top of my head, just say, oh, this will work for you rather than that working for you. And that is because I've had time to garner expertise. But I will not be able to do that if I don't have a relationship with people who will then trust me enough to treat them and trust me enough to even open up to me about what their condition is, right? And taking it outside the profession, expertise also come at talking, at any other thing that anybody else is doing. Some people have expertise at teaching, at communicating. I will not be gaining expertise at communicating if I've not mastered the art of communicating with people, if I've not mastered the art of, conversing, striking conversations. So I think it's all connected for me. And while I said that I'm leveraging on them at the moment, well, I like to build better on them. I like to be best at them, not just good. So there's good, there's better, there's best. So the good level is okay, but I want to be better, and then I want to be best. I also want to build another sources of power that I can lay my hands on. So what could you do to people to help them to be more powerful? I think for me, the best way to help people be powerful is to make them better versions of themselves. If everybody in this world were a better version of themselves, positively better versions of themselves, then the world would be a better place. And the first way to do that would be to help them see that they are actually more than they give themselves credit for. You meet some people and you feel like, oh, this person is so great at what they do, and then they feel like, I'm doing crap, I don't even know what I'm doing. Sometimes such people need people to tell them that you're not so bad at all, you're doing really well. You just need to sit back and take a look at it from another point of view. And even if they don't see it, or if they're not as better, then there's the place of teaching, and then you can teach them to be better. You can teach them to do certain aspects of maybe their business or their work better. and then by extension it can go on, and they can go on to do the same to another person, or they can spread that. So it's a circle, it keeps going round. So I think, yes, helping people become better versions of themselves by helping them see themselves better than they currently are, or teaching them to be better if they do not know how to be so. And lastly, I think I'd like to say that I'm glad that I took this course yet again. Um, so the interesting part about this particular course, this second phase of the course, is that not everything is stark new. Some of them I'm quite familiar with, I just never really put a name to them. And if we're going to be better leaders, it starts at home. There's a saying that says the charity begins at home, and we can substitute leadership to with charity and say that leadership begins at home, because if we are going to be the better leaders outside in a higher position, that leadership starts from home, right? And leadership cuts across every aspect and sphere of life. So there's leadership in a home. Parents can be said to be leaders in a home, just like elder siblings can be said to be leaders amongst their other siblings, their younger siblings. And if they exhibit a good sense of leadership in that small sphere, then it goes on to say that they will be able to exhibit a good sense of leadership when they get to a larger sphere, when they get to a higher position, right? And it all boils down to the fact that we need to inculcate and incorporate these leadership skills into our everyday lives, into every family unit, because it is the family unit that makes up the society, right? And it is from this family unit that we're going to elect a governor, elect a commissioner, elect a minister. And if they are not exposed, or if they've not mastered the art of leadership at that small level, by the time they get to the top level, it is all coming to them so fast they can't even keep up with it, and so they don't end up being as awesome leaders as they should be. So yes, I think I'm glad that this course is helping me see that now. So like I said, leadership is a continuous thing. Whether you're occupying a position of power or not, you're practicing leadership one way or the other, directly or indirectly, formally or informally. And so I think that's all that I have for now. So I look forward to the next and last phase of this course, and I can't wait to see what that unfolds. Until then, bye.